Otherworldly Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Rock Radio med Jamie Roxx.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Pop Rocks Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx, and this is the big show. You found it. I'm glad you did. I am super stoked tonight. Our guest tonight, he is the lead singer, the frontman for a fantastic band out of Syracuse, New York. I would say they're NuMetal, if that's such a genre term, but they rock. And it's interesting with them. I almost got, not that they sound like them, but I got the same vibe as listening to some of the earlier like Rush stuff. It's just intelligent music. It makes you think, and it's pretty good. And the videos, they've always got a fantastic woman in the videos. That's always good to see, along with a intelligent song. I'm a fan. Anyway, without further ado, I'd like to welcome John of Otherworldly Entity. John, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, I saw in the news earlier, I don't know where it was, but I think it's your neck of the woods. Wouldn't surprise me. Upstate New York, you guys are known for snow. Did you guys get snow today or yesterday or something?
We got a little bit of sleet coming in, but not snow yet. We were supposed to get it this past weekend, but we didn't.
Yeah,
we are the capital. Syracuse is the capital of snow.
Yeah, and it's funny because you'll see people, oh my God, we got 6 inches of snow. I'm like, go upstate, man. They got 18 feet. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's almost differs from mile to mile.
Yeah.
You could be, when I lived in Buffalo, 3 miles south, there was 6 feet one year, all at once. And where I was, there was no snow on the ground.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's all that radioactive waste they bury in Buffalo. I'm kidding. Yeah. I heard anything about any of that.
It's Onondaga Lake. It's the polluted lake. We can blame it.
Yeah, there you go. I spent all weekend. My wife was out of town, which is weird because we usually have a big holiday Halloween party and stuff. Didn't this year. She wants to have a Yule party. She's into all this pagan stuff and whatnot. And so I'm like, okay, that's great. That gives me more time to get the yard together. I didn't have to rush around. But I was home with the dog, and I started watching these weird, like, unexplained mystery stories on these YouTube channels. I went down that rabbit hole, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm going, oh my God, it's been like 7 hours I've been watching this stuff. Oh my God.
Welcome to my life. I'm actually a paranormal investigator.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Yep.
There wasn't that many ghost stuff. It was just like guys going crazy in an airport that no one ever saw. He runs out, no one sees him again. All this creatures in abandoned oil pit factories and abandoned factories they found. And
oh yeah, and staircases in the middle of the woods that lead nowhere.
Yeah, I never heard of that before. I had never heard of that. I'm like, number one, how do you come up with this as a topic? John he's the singer in a band called Otherworldly Entity, folks. Maybe that's why I got in this kick.
Yeah.
But I'm flipping through these. I'm watching. I'm like, I saw it. I know about the hikers in Russia. I've heard that a million times. Let me skip to the next one. And then it was the staircases in the forest. I'm like, I've never heard of that.
Yep. Never climb them. Never climb them.
Oh, is there more to it?
Supposedly, if there's a staircase in the woods, you climb it, you disappear.
Oh, I'm not doing that. No.
I would give it a shot. I'm a scientist.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on my week.
Exactly. You're a little hungry? I'm tired.
Art buyers in that dimension. I don't know. We might check that. The dog's looking at me like, no, Papa. No, we're not dimension hopping. Yeah, weird stuff. I can't believe it, John. You know about the stair, because I was blown away by that. Not, folks. Look it up yourself. Everybody's obviously got YouTube. You're watching this. But it wasn't like some magical, spectacular thing. The Nazis did this in World War II. Some crazy Ark of the Covenant thing. It was just weird staircase. And they were like built out of brick in the middle of nowhere and cinder blocks and stuff, and concrete. iron. I'm like, how'd they get all that stuff out there? I don't know. I guess that's the mystery, right?
That,
From the
yeah.
other side.
If you could explain it, it wouldn't be a mystery.
It was weird. And then, of course, my mind goes to, you do have that back corner in the backyard there that you've been looking to put something in. Maybe you should just. I had a guest years ago who did a horror movie, low budget B horror movie. We've had a lot of those on. And the whole premise of his movie, and forgive me, I can't remember the name of the movie. This is back in, I don't know, 2014 or 2013 or something. It was way back in the day. But the premise of his movie was some teenagers, of course, find a big door. They're out hiking in the woods, and there's a door with all these heavy chains and a frame wrapped around it. Nothing else, just the door and the frame. And it was an okay movie. It was what it is. It wasn't Citizen Kane, but I didn't expect that going into it. But my big question to him, I'm like, did you keep that prop? Do you have it at your house? Because if not, I might want to buy it off you for my backyard, just to freak people out. And he goes, no, you can't have it. It's in my front yard. And I'm like, that's great for the Amazon delivery guys. They pull up, see a chained up door.
In our new music video, we actually built a portal in this really remote forest.
Really?
We built a portal and we left it. Because we're just like, someone's going to find this. This is the middle of nowhere. It's
going to be on the Dark 5 videos. I'm telling you.
We had to bring in generators to have lights and sound and everything. And it was crazy. But I was like, no, leave it.
That's awesome. Let me ask you, John, when you were a kid, when you were a young lad, how did you get into music, man? Did you know paranormal investigator rock star it was going to be in your future?
No idea, but I started playing really young. I went to a little tiny Catholic school and I started playing piano. And when I was about 10, I decided to start taking guitar lessons. And that's it. I just slowly grew into it.
I grew up in Metro Detroit, and I'm a little down the path than you are. This is back in the 80s. But all of my friends, everybody, they all wanted to be Randy Rhoads. That was if they had to play bass, they were going to be Rudy, but Randy Rhoads was it, man. They were all, and I remember a bunch of them coming over to my house, and I don't know why they were coming to me, but they did. And they were asking me, they're like, we're going to form a band. And I'm like, there's 12 of you, and you all play guitar. Somebody's going to have to learn another instrument and sing.
Yeah.
You guys are an orchestra at this point. You're not a band, and it's a very limited orchestra.
Yeah, it's all the same frequency.
Exactly. It's like fucking listening to bagpipes or some shit. Anyway, out of all those people I knew, one guy is still in the business today. And he produces elevator music you would hear like at the dentist office or something on hold. He's got a giant house and a very nice Bentley he drives. So
yeah, I started playing in bands when I was 14 years old and played with a guy, and the only guy that's still around really doing it from back then, I think he just got done playing for Blue Man Group in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah, but other than that, pretty much everyone else dropped out. My guitar teacher's still around today. So.
That's cool. Cool. Music's one of those things too, at least that I've observed from a distance, because I've never been in a band. I've never had that talent. And what I've seen, I remember I had a moment, me and my friends used to go to nightclub. I used to hang out. I lived through a couple, 3 decades in nightclubs. Not because I'm cool, but because that's where the people that were buying my paintings, they were hanging out there. That's where that crowd was. You got to go, when you're fishing, you go to where the fish are. But anyway, we used to always go to Denny's after the clubs would close because they would give us free. We were there so much they would take messages for us. People, you wanted, back before cell phones. And we were sitting there bullshitting probably about, I'd never heard of it, so we weren't talking about Stairways to Nowhere, but something equally interesting to us at the time. And as we were there, I remember I was sketching in a sketch pad. That was my thing, my MO. And some grown-up, some adult came over and looked at and he goes, I'll give you $150 for that right now if you sign it. And that was the first time I ever made any like money with my art. Yeah, I painted all my friends' leather jackets. I could paint the Van Halen symbol blindfolded. A lot of drum kits from my musician friends, but from a stranger like that. And so of course, I sold it to him. But it was such a cool feeling. But that was the bug that bit me. Then I got serious. Then I'm started looking at art schools. I'm like, wow, I could do this. And a lot of musicians I've seen, they'll get in a band, but as soon as they do that first gig, playing
Yeah.
live in front of, it's like usually doesn't even really be. It's not even about money, really. It's just doing what you do in front of other people seems to be that common.
And for me, I remember that moment for me. I still remember that moment for me.
That's pretty
I was
cool.
14 years old, 2001. I was playing my first show with a band, and I was absolutely terrified. Somehow I ended up being the singer, which I never wanted to be. There was three of us in the band, and we all played guitar. To get back on your story, we all played guitar in the band, and somehow I ended up as a singer. We only played one song at this show, and that was Glycerine by Bush.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it was the only song I knew how to play and sing at the same time. And I was absolutely terrified. And I started singing, and I had my eyes closed, and there was probably 50 people in front of me. And I had my eyes closed. I was absolutely petrified, and I'm singing. And we get to the bridge, the Pale Moon White Again part. And I open my eyes, and this whole room of people, we had rappers in there, we had metalheads in there, punks in there, we had everybody from every walk of life. And they're all standing up now singing this song with me.
Wow.
And that feeling in that moment, I think I've been chasing it ever since then, because it's just
Yeah.
that there's all of these different people in this place, and they're united in this one
Exactly.
song and in this one moment. And it was just so surreal, because when I first got out on that stage, I looked and I'm like, 90% of this crowd isn't even going to know this song, let
Right.
alone like it. And you open your eyes halfway through and you see everybody standing there singing along with you. Yep.
It's amazing. And for you younger folks out there watching or listening to this, you have to understand um, the 90s, it was still happening. The 90s were still happening. Everybody, it was music and music tastes were very tribal, very genre specific. I don't think it was as bad as the 80s. I remember being a kid, if I wanted to listen to some Adam Ant or something, I couldn't let my friends know that, oh my God, I'd get beat up. You know what I mean? They're like, what are you doing? Oh, listen to the new Maiden. That's what I'm doing. Which I like Iron Maiden. And I like, but if you liked other kinds of music outside of your genre, you risk social
At least ridicule.
ostracization, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, it's at least ridicule.
exactly. And you get enough of that in your normal teenage life. You don't need to add more to it. But today, like my wife's, she's 15 years younger than me. And so we listen to a lot of playlists. She's into all that. Listen to a lot of Sirius XM pop stations in the car and whatever. Hey, people like what they like. I don't care. But it's not genre specific. You listen to an hour because they usually play an hour of music and then you'll listen to the same hour three times in a row. It's usually how radio stations do it. And yeah, I'm hearing like a country song, then I'm hearing a rap song, then I'm hearing maybe something a little harder, but nothing. What's weird, there's a real lack of in mainstream radio. I'm not saying that it's not out there because it's definitely out there. Bands like yourself and whatnot, but there's not a lot of rock in mainstream. A little bit here and there, but and I think that's a disservice and lacking in the culture because there's no kind of show like a rock show.
I think more of the issue is what's taken over the rock scene is the really heavy metal, like the beat down metal, which, don't get me wrong, I love going to those shows and I love listening to that music. But it's just, there's just like the rest of our society at this point in time, it's so polarizing. You either have the pop in the country or you have the really heavy metal. And there's really not as much in between.
No, no. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's believe me, it's in everybody's best interest. I'm not the music scheduler, programmer, or whatever at one of these big radio stations. You guys really would. I'll be listening to some of my weirdo music, and my wife will come in the studio here, and she's, "It sounds like the souls are falling into hell. What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just some stuff, a band you've never heard, some German band from a dark forest somewhere you've never heard of. Don't worry about it, babe. I'll turn it down. Let me put the headphones on, and because that's what people will be listening to." But no, you're right. It is polarizing. I'm getting tired of all the polarizing in everything, to be honest with
Exactly.
you. It's very tedious. Um, and it's just, and I'm not talking just politics and bullshit. You guys want I don't like to talk politics on the show, but I'll tell you my honest opinion. People ask me, they're like, blah, blah, blah. Number one, I'm a Spockist. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I'm also a Leninist. Not saying I'm communist, not that Lenin, John Lennon, with whatever gets you through the night, man. And I remember high school. It doesn't matter how much you like the principal or if you got a new principal, they're still going to bust you for smoking behind the gym. You know what I mean? So that's like my view on the government. Needs to happen. I dig that we have a fire department. Yeah, it's great. But I'm not going to get up and people get it. I've seen people, they have these videos on YouTube where it's, oh, this couple got divorced because they couldn't pull. I'm like, really? Over that? There had to be. Sure, he was wearing her shoes. There had to be something more. Or she was spending too much time at her ex's. There was something else. That can't be. And if it is it, yeah, you guys probably don't need to be together in the first place.
Well, that's the whole thing with this polarization is you can pick and choose anything to fit into polar extremes, but it's that commonality, that unity in the middle. It really takes less effort to be unified than it does to be polarized.
Absolutely. I'm not going to spend my days on that. I get caught up in it, though. I was caught up in it, I don't know, a couple months ago. I remember my wife walked in the room and her girlfriend was over, and they're like, "Man, what are you watching? Sports? What are you watching? Hockey?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You're yelling at the TV." I'm watching the news. And they're like, "You need to get off that. You're going to have a stroke, my friend." I'm like, "Yeah, they're right. Jesus Christ." And it's all over some bullshit that doesn't affect me anyway. So, I mean, I hate to see terrible things happen to terrible people. I'm the first to say that. Folks, don't think I don't have empathy and I don't care about injustices. Nobody wants to see people burned alive or anything horrible. But at the same time, I, somebody using a bathroom, I don't really give a fuck. I got to tell you, I'm not tossing and turning at night, or this person did that, or they did this.
Who hasn't drunkenly used the wrong bathroom? Come on.
Exactly. I've used the wrong bathroom for many things. And like I said, I hung out and let me put it this way, folks. I've lived a fast life.
At least it was a bathroom and not someone's car outside.
Yeah, exactly. I think her boyfriend was waiting for her out. And no, I'm kidding. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. It was all nice, pious Catholic girls I used to hang out with. No, they're the worst. They're the worst. They're the ones you got to worry about. Sorry to any parents out there that are thinking their little ones are angels with dirty faces. I'll put it that way. Anyway, yeah, man, all these people. I was just reading an article about Las Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas for a little bit, and I don't know. It's one of those places that kind of interests me still. These CEOs were talking about, yeah, we want to get rid of all the riffraff. That's why we're charging so much out there. I'm like, if you get, and so I wrote a blog post about it. I'm like, here's my take, folks. Here's what I can tell these guys have never been to a cool club or a VIP area lounge. The whole point of being a VIP is so you can be superior and look down at all the people in the club that can't get into the room you're in. That's what makes them feel good. So if you get rid of all the people that accept them, then it's just the same for everybody. That's no fun. That is no motivation. VIP room, you have a VIP lounge. The whole
You're not if everyone's VIP, no one is VIP.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're trying to run a casino business on that, man, you really don't get it. You really don't get it. I don't know. The thing is, it's a polarized society. Like you said, it's polar. Everybody's just, I've never seen it. I've never seen such a thing. And I'm not saying we didn't live in a vacuum. Fuck, man. Remember when old Clinton got busted for hanging out with Lewinsky? Everybody was all up in arms.
It doesn't seem so bad in hindsight now, does it?
No, it really doesn't. I'm like,
Uh,
that's
I just asked a friend of mine earlier today, so how's George W. doing?
exactly. Now they're talking about the island and everything. I'm like, geez. Look. And I'm not surprised. I saw this comedian do a bit on this recently. And she was hilarious because she think that once they caught old E there, that they all the people that were going to that island just said, the party's over now. I guess we'll change our ways and just stop. Well, no, they found somebody else with an island that's doing the same, probably worse. I'm like, she is 100% right.
And this has been going on, look at back in Greek times.
Yeah, all these people are like, no. I'm like, do a little research on JFK and Marilyn Monroe. Why don't you? That guy was messing around in this wild in the house.
Epstein Catholic Church.
Exactly. It's what I think it was Aristotle who said it. I'm probably wrong on that, but about power corrupting. I'll put it this way: I've been to some crazy parties. Yeah, I've been to like whips and chains. I went to a party one time, and some gal was dressed up like a dog on a leash with this guy. It was a wild party. But I'll tell you, the freakiest people I've ever known, they're usually somebody in power. It's usually a head of some company or whatever. It ain't Bob the janitor in there. Everybody thinks that's who would be in. No.
Yep, the scariest people wear suits and ties, not leather.
Yeah.
We have a line, the opening line to one of our new songs on our upcoming album is the biggest killers killed with a pen and not a gun.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Absolutely. That's cool. Speaking of albums, okay, so you were in you were in a couple bands and whatnot. How did Otherworldly Entity form? How did that coalesce?
So at the time, I was actually doing tours as a solo acoustic musician.
Okay.
So more like folk Americana stuff.
Yeah.
And I released an album. And I released an album called Dichotomy, where half the album were all the songs acoustic and half the album were all the songs electric. And I needed a band to play the electric stuff with me. So I got a bunch of my buddies together, and Zlatko, who's the guitarist of Otherworldly Entity, he was playing a bunch of acoustic shows with me at the time. So I'm like, hey, do the electric stuff with me. And he was like, all right. And we pulled some other friends together, and we initially went by John Harris and the Otherworldly Entities to support that album. And then we met with a bunch of big name guys from the industry, specifically when we played with the band Cold out in Buffalo. And Cold have always been, since I was a kid, have always been one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
So when they sat me down and said to me, like, hey, you guys should maybe rebrand a little bit, we were like, I think it's time that instead of being John Harris and the Otherworldly Entities, we are just one entity.
Yeah.
And we switched to Otherworldly Entity. And the colors, we do blue and green on everything. That came from, those were the colors that Cold lit our set with their lights on stage that night.
Nice. And it's always, that brings up a very good lesson for all you folks out there, all you youngsters, people getting back into it, you're trying to do your band, your music, totally respect it. Here's the thing I've learned, no matter what you're doing, music, baking bread, whatever it is, painting, whatever, if you're looking to level up, as the kids say, from video games or whatever, find people who are doing it and doing it well. Don't copy directly their shit, but copy their processes or what's working for them, and ask yourself, this seems to be doing okay by them. If I implement something like that in my thing, yeah, you're going to have it's already a proven track record. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, look at McDonald's. Remember when McDonald's used to just sell hamburgers and now it's crazy. It's a bad analogy, but when they came out with a thing called would you like to supersize that?
Oh my God. I remember that.
Yeah, everybody in any kind of business start doing that. Oh, you're buying a set of golf clubs? How would you like to supersize that for $5 more? I'll throw in these high-end golf balls or whatever. And
Yeah.
of course everybody did it. That's a smart thing to do. But it's the same in art as well. The art business, the music business, whatever it is. Find people that are doing it and having some luck with what they're doing, and get out your pad of paper and take notes, man. Uh,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are fueled by ego at the end of the
yeah.
day. It's really hard to objectively observe somebody else's process if ego is
But you
what
listen
fuels
to
it.
Cold enough and on the ball enough to go, these guys obviously know what they're talking about, you
You
know?
go through a lot of crap in life and it beats your ego down with a
Yeah,
stick.
that's true.
And you kind of learn the hard way to at least observe. It, listen, pay attention, take the lesson, and then decide to listen or not. And that's the big thing. It's about making that conscious decision. If you ignore it, don't ignore it out of ego. Ignore it because you decided, I think I have to go a different direction. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to sleep with yourself at night. You're the one that has to make peace with the decisions you've made. So at least
Absolutely.
do it knowingly.
And bands today, I don't know how much is done on the phone, but man, it's never a good feeling no matter what you're doing. Whether you're calling a gal or, hey, can I get some, I'd like to be in this show, and they hang up on you. That's never a good thing. Or you're
Right.
trying to book your band in a venue and they're like, I never heard of you, kid. Pound sand. You're out of here, mullet head. Not fun to hear. But get ready. You're going to hear that shit no matter what you're doing.
Well, and what's the worst they're going to say is no.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to
Maybe
come
three
and
more.
murder you. Well, they're not going to come and murder you because
Right.
they said no. That's not going to happen. So just take the no, move on. I've always found rejection to be a great indicator of success
Yeah.
because you get rejected, do a bunch of stuff, work harder, and then go back. And now they say yes. And that's a measurable point of success. You can say,
Yeah.
look, I went from here to here.
Yeah. It's, you totally, and it's a good feeling. I used to, when I first hit, many years, probably 25 years ago, and by hit, I started selling commercial paintings on a commercial level and actually make getting, they call them brand deals now. We didn't know that, we didn't have a word for brand back in the day, but that's basically what it was. Um, I got paid a lot of money from Smart Water to always have a Smart Water in my hand in every picture. And
Yeah.
I'm a painter. I'm not like these guys, not doing sexy rock stars on stage and shit. I'm a painter that looks like a frog. But it was exposure, and that's what they were paying for. And I started getting hate mail, hate emails. And it was really bumming me out. Going, oh, yeah, all this shit. And I was talking to this back when my dad was alive, and we used to talk on the phone every so often. He was not in the art business. He was as far from a field from the art world than anybody I've ever known. But he was a good businessman. And so he's like, why are you down? And I'm like, and I told him, and he's like, sounds to me you're doing something right if it's pissing people off. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. So on my website, I started there used to be a thing called Live Journal, and it was
I
basically
remember it.
you could put
Yeah,
like
I remember it.
posts
Yeah.
and stuff. So I did a poll, and I would say, okay, here's the hate mail I got this week. Let's all vote on it, and the best one, we'll send them a poster or some shit or a shirt or something. And pretty soon I stopped getting hate mail because I turned it to my advantage, and it made me feel a lot better getting paid than not.
I get every time we release something new, I get hate mail. Every time. I'm called ugly more than you could possibly imagine. I always say that I always fall back on this says more about you than it does about me. You know,
Exactly.
you took the time to write this and type this and put this out there in the world like I didn't.
Somebody's girlfriend's talking about you a little too much, I think.
Exact. And I always say, like, when we play these metal shows and stuff, I'm like, yeah, we're the metal band that the metal guy's girlfriend's like. That's
Mhm.
generally where we fall. So I'll take the hate mail, whatever. I'll take it. It says more about you than it does about me.
Exactly, man. I remember those days too, like when like the glam rock thing was out. Every gal I knew loved Poison. I'm like, they're not even a good metal. At least with Def Leppard, you can say, they're an ACDC rip. I get where they're coming from. But yeah, Poison, I just didn't see it. And then I saw a picture. I'm like, oh, okay. And my friends were like, what do you mean? They look like girls. I'm like, I don't know. Every girl I know digs Prince on some level or not. We did
Every
okay.
guy I know digs Prince on some level.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. He's doing something right.
Right.
But it's crazy. But I'm glad we're talking about this because bands, new bands out there, find your niche, perfect it to where you're doing it well, where you can
Yep.
really, and you're loving it, you're loving the attention. If you're making money, even better. But don't do it just for money. You know what I mean? In my opinion, though, yeah, you're going to meet a lot of girls being in a band. I'll tell you that. It's real hard to do with painting. You gotta get good at painting before that starts happening. But yeah, look at some cat like Danzig. Gals line up for that shit.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
him. Love him. And good for him.
Look at Sleep Token right now.
My wife is. She is so into Sleep Token. I should be concerned about our marriage. She's but listen to his voice when he talk. Can you imagine him just talk?
And the subtext of look at his abs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's let's listen to some Sleep Token. I'm like, oh great, I'm free for the next 12 minutes. That's how long their songs seem to go.
Yep.
Maybe they all sound. I'm not putting Sleep Token down, folks. I'm not.
And you said she's 15 years younger, so just slip a Deftones song in.
Oh,
She won't even notice.
tell when we first met, her big thing was that guy from the band Him. She had a
Oh
bad
God, yeah.
Him. Oh yeah. Then she's hanging out with me, and I don't think she'd ever seen Billy Idol before, and she saw him, and she's no, he's interesting. I'm like, every girl in the world thought so in 1986. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. But you guys have to, because number one, you guys are real good. You're big on social media. You're always putting stuff out, um, and you make kick-ass videos. We're gonna play some of them here in a little bit, but very good. You have to have a fan base though that's global and not just local. Is
Oh,
that just
absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of our feedback actually comes mostly from Europe, oddly enough. We have a huge following in Europe. I'd love to get out there and play at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen. You guys are with Curtain Call, and yeah, being with them, I'm sure that is in your future.
And with the music videos, we do everything from scratch. Like the outfits that are worn, I dye the fabric, I sew the outfits. Any of the like latex masks or prosthetics, I sculpt and mold and cast those myself.
Wow.
I do everything from scratch for our music videos.
And that you have to, folks. The music, I know so many new bands that think, I don't know, they watch the Doors movie or something and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just going to go to the studio and hang out until we write a song. I'm like, you're writing songs in the studio? So you understand how studios work, right? They're like,
Like you understand how expensive that is?
yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's like riding a cab. You're paying by the second. Um, a better plan, have all your shit done as much as you can before you go to the studio. So you
Yeah.
spend the least amount of time there. Um, Work with good people, that know what they're doing and don't have to figure, oh, maybe if I figure this out, you're paying some guy to figure something out. Come on, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. But you guys have really good music videos, and I like them. I'm a music video guy. I grew up in the 80s, so music videos to me are like art. It's like an art film. Um, and I really dig a good music video. I really do. But the music business has changed. It's different. You don't have Pepsi Cola writing a check going, oh, here you go. Here's $1 million. Go make a video.
Yeah.
No, it's, oh, we got $1,500 together. We had a house party and charged everybody $5 to get in. That's how we're paying for this. It was that level of stuff sometimes. And frankly, I think it's more creative. It forces the band or whoever's doing it to be more creative. And
Yep.
you got to figure shit out. Yeah.
That's part of the fun for us. When Z and I started this project, we really wanted to always consider the visuals. We wanted to create our own world and create kind of our own concepts but we knew that was going to take us doing a lot ourselves because we weren't going to have the budget to hire special effects masters from
Oh, yeah.
California. So it meant, hey, you're going to do a lot of YouTube research and You're going to spend a lot of time failing at things.
Figuring it out.
Yep.
I shouldn't even say this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or make anybody cringe. I have a lot of bands on this show. It's not because I'm super cool and know all these guys. I had never met John prior to a couple of weeks ago. This is first time in person,
Right.
folks. Usually a PR company or a record label or whomever, a distributor if it's a movie. I do know some folks in that world, and they'll say, hey, check this band out. What do you think? You might be interested in having them on. And here's the part that I worry I will hurt feelings on. I never go to their Spotify page when I check a band out. I don't. I'm a YouTube guy. I click on YouTube and I see what they're doing. And Red Flag was the first video I saw. That's the first one I clicked on. And I like that term. I've been mulling it around for the title of a painting, but I don't see the painting yet. But then I saw it on your thing and I'm like, oh, okay. And that's what I watch. And I'm like, I made my decision in the first 10 seconds of watching that video. So it behooves you, if you have a music project, folks, to have some visuals with that at the very least. Even a lyric video. I don't care. Just something.
Something.
Yeah.
We always say you eat with your eyes first.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen with their eyes first, too. What does that thumbnail say about that video you're about to watch?
It's true. But once I'm hooked on a band, once I'm addicted to a band, man, I will do a deep dive on Spotify and Bandcamp and anything I can find. Very true. That's very true. Speaking of videos, we got 3 we're going to play tonight. We've got your latest, which just dropped a couple weeks ago, which is Tower. We've got Red Flags we're going to play, the acoustic one. And then we were going to also do, I had it here in front of me, the one, Sin.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. What should we hit first? What should we play first?
I would say start it out with Sin.
Okay. My next quick question on that note, we're doing the official music video, or did you want to do the live in Rochester?
Let's do the official music video, because that's a fun music video. Talking a bunch of fairy girls and clowns.
There you go. And I like that deer skull thing in the thumbnail, or whatever that is. I thought a fairy girl in it.
One of our actors, she built this and she was on stilts. She was like 8-9 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Here it is, everybody. Nice. That's awesome, though. That is awesome. See, you're doing something right. You got a girl to show up in 12-foot stilts. Come on. That's fantastic. Here it is, everybody. This is Otherworldly Entity. This is Sin.
Spectacle, a fire burning chaotic. This blasphemic door we show to you. Mysterious angelic findings. No gods can see the things we do while the stars are all shining. It's you and me, a poison sense of reality. It's me and you, dying such a mortal thing to do. I speak in rhyme, she speaks in prose. I write my line, she drops her prose. As our hearts beat on the burning horizon, I see no future but for now, she'll be my sin.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. That was, John was right, and I agree with him. That's a fantastic video. That's a fantastic track, John. Fantastic track.
Thank you. It's actually the first track we wrote with our current drummer, Sean Walker, who's been with us since 2022. So that was the first one he wrote with us.
A pandemic baby. You added him during the pandemic and everything.
Oh, our whole first album was written and recorded in the pandemic.
Wow.
2019 through 2020.
I was crazy. Me and my wife, we've been together forever, since 2010, but we finally got married in 2019, and we got married a week before they shut everything down.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Way to test the marriage with a lockdown.
Oh, I'm telling you. What's crazier, my wife's cousin, he had, I don't want to say this in an untoward way, he had met a young lady out at a establishment at a club and had brought her home the weekend they closed everything down. So she was at his house for 3 months or something before. And they're married now. I don't know if they've had their first baby yet, but it's definitely on the way. So it worked out in their case and whatnot. My biggest thing with my wife during the pandemic, I did not want to, my biggest fear is turning into Jack Torrance, that scene with him and Wendy where she's bugging him and she comes he's in The Shining, he's typing and she comes in and he's like, new rule, and does that whole, treats her terrible.
Yep.
And so during the pandemic, like every day I'm having that thought. I'm like, don't turn into, it doesn't end well for Jack in The Shining, no matter what you're doing, man. Because I just wasn't used to having her home. I work from home. So they're like, Jamie, you got to stay home. I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's cool. I don't have to interact with people for however long. I'm down, man. I would be a very good lighthouse keeper. I don't need all that. Because I got the show. I'm getting my social interaction through the show.
Yep.
But she wasn't used to it. She was in here bugging me all the time. Hey, look at this TikTok I just did. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
See, I lived with 3 roommates and all of us were essential workers. So we all still went to work.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
I worked for Department of Defense. It was not, I wasn't really.
No,
I worked in a lab.
I do notice I'm not speaking Russian right now, so it's all important. It all counts. It all counts.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. That is cool. I knew nothing about New York during it. All I saw was the newscasts, and of course, the news, and if this is new information to anybody out there, I hate to do the spoiler, they're trying to sell magazine subscriptions to Golf Digest or Cialis pills. That's the whole, it's a for-profit thing. So they need people watching it, so they're going to sensationalize everything. Easy to forget. I forgot during the pandemic because I'm seeing they keep showing all these semi trucks they're pulling in. They're like, this is refrigerated for all the corpses and all. And I'm like, geez, things are rough up in New York. That's the city.
Here's the deal. I'll say it was over sensationalized, but within the first couple months of COVID really hitting, I lost a lot of friends. There were a lot of deaths that it was not easy, but it was one of those things where you just, at a certain point, you got numb to it because it was just happening so frequently that you tried to reserve your emotions for the worst case scenarios.
Absolutely.
Oddly enough, my uncle died down in Florida at that same time.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't care here. Everybody in Florida, they're so stupid. They're so stupid. They're like, hey, it's a party. The beaches are free. You know, I'm like, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? Until they
literally, I said my uncle's death was preventable, like 100% preventable, just based on simple technology.
Yeah. And people are bitching about washing their hands and wearing masks were great. My wife, she's a cosplayer. She makes all this shit all the time.
Yeah.
So she made me some cool masks. I had the coolest masks in town.
I made all my own masks.
Yeah.
I wore crazy masks to work for Department of Defense every day. And you know what? I looked the way I looked. The masks benefited me.
Yeah,
they gave me a shot. It meant it was all about personality.
You always have you never say anything bad. I'm like, that's because I didn't have to shave today. I am happy. If I pull this down, I look like a movie producer in between movies. You always see those pictures of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't shaved in 3 months and they're rough looking. But yeah, and as far as 6 feet distance, I love that shit.
I loved it.
Yeah. The only people I like to snuggle with are my wife and my dog. I don't need.
And the building we had a band practice space in at that time got shut down because there was an outbreak in the building because people lived upstairs and there were band practice spaces in the basement, and there was a huge outbreak there, so they shut the building down and none of the bands were allowed to come in and practice. So we came in, we got our gear, brought it back to my house, set up in my basement, and that became our new practice space. We saved a bunch of money. And we wrote that whole album, Cataclysm, which is why we called it Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Because we were going through the pandemic.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And that's a good point, too. We all have peaks and valleys in our life. Shit happens. Try not to focus on the shit because then all you'll have is shit. But try to see the silver lining in things. Say,
I always say, whenever something bad happens, my fallback is, I needed new material.
Yeah.
I needed new material. Nobody wanted to hear me happy anyway. Come on.
I have a guy I know, and he's in a rockabilly band, and he plays stand-up bass. Of course he does.
Stand-up bass in a rockabilly, yep.
Yeah. But he's a hired gun. And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is hired guns get paid to go on tour. When Jethro, the bass player, the normal bass player, can't get the time off of work, but the tour has to happen, they call in my friend. And he's got to learn all the songs quick and look like he knows what he's doing on stage. But he called me. I'm like, oh, you with the band coming through? Because that's usually the band comes to our house. We have a washing machine and 2 showers. It's important when you're on the road. But no, man, his wife was leaving him and all this, and he was just down. And I said, come down for a week, man. I got a bottle of tequila and we got a beach. Sometimes a change of scenery is what the doctor ordered. And so he did, and we were sitting on the beach. He's drinking, and we're bullshitting, and he goes, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're in a rockabilly band. You're in a country band. You were going to make 7 albums out of this. Use that as jet fuel. Think you're walking upright God that this happened, that you have material now. You know?
Yeah, every time my love life goes to shambles, that's a whole album right there. And even the song Sin that we just had on, the last line of that chorus is, I see no future, but for now she'll be my sin. You know, it's like you know it's going to shit, so you might as well enjoy it.
And that is such a relatable topic. We have all been in a situation. There was a book a series of books, but the first one was I think it was called The Gunslinger or something by Stephen King.
Yeah, yep, yeah. The Tower series.
The Tower series, and there's a scene in the book where he's in this little apocalyptic town, and he's been hanging out, wolfing around with the gal who runs the little bar restaurant. And he woke up and he goes, I could feel it, I could smell it in the air. It was time to move on. And I'm like, God damn, Steven, I have smelled that smell so many times. Or you just know,
Yep.
time to go. And then the whole town tried to eat him. That's usually how that goes. But yeah,
Stephen King. Yeah.
that's what's great about your guys' music, because you can find. Now, you could have been writing about whatever to you.
Yep.
But the crazy thing is 10,000 other people are listening to that track and they're putting their own story on it. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like you didn't write one song, you wrote 10,000 in one.
And I always try to write lyrics in a way that I want to see what you think that means. Like, I know what it means to me, but I want to see what you think it means, because that's interesting to me. I went to school for anthropology. I studied culture and people, and that was something that was a big deal to me. See how it's interpreted.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's it's very similar in the art world. One of the big turnoffs for me is when somebody, what does this painting mean? I don't know. You tell me, man. You're the one looking at the thing. Um,
Yeah.
I said, do you know what I
And the
really
real
think,
answer
or do
is
you
I
want
know
me
what
to
it
give
means
you the
to me.
bullshit answer? Yeah, because you don't know
Yeah.
me, and
I know
that's
what it
talking
means
about
to
shit
me.
I've never
That's
talked
it.
about. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Or
Next
the
track we're
answer
gonna
is
play.
that's between me and my therapist.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. I hate doing art shows. I hate. Um, I am terrible at them. One of the reasons me and my wife are great, because I usually just go out front of the gallery and vape, and then she'll wander out and fetch me, and then tell me who on the way to whoever she needs me to talk to. She's okay. This is such and such. His name's David. His wife's name's Claire. They got two kids. Blah blah blah. And so I'm prepared when I meet them. It seems like I know what the hell I'm talking
Yeah.
about, but I just got the lowdown from the missus. She's great at that stuff, though. She can work a room, talk to everybody in there. I'm just,
That's called
I'm not.
synergy.
Yeah, she's great with it. I am not. I am just not that person. It's not one of my skills. It's one of my weaknesses, and I had to learn to work on that or be able to fake it. Oh, it's terrible. But everybody's got
But
some
if you
weaknesses.
were good at that, you probably wouldn't be the painter you are.
That's true. That's true. Um, Now, let me ask. That leads me to an interesting question. You're a frontman. You're obviously. I don't know if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons. When I was a kid, me and my nerdy friends would always play that. And one
Yeah.
of the things is you have to roll for all these abilities. You got to roll dice for strength and wisdom and all. One of the categories is charisma
And charisma.
and how
Yeah.
you interact with people, how people interact with you. You obviously have an 18. You rolled well
Yep.
on charisma.
You
Is it
would think
hard
that.
to be on being a frontman and as friendly and gregarious and everything as you are? Is it hard to be on? Like when you get done a show, do you like, I need some me time? How does that work in John's?
I always need me time, especially after we play. I always have to disappear for a few minutes. When it comes to being on stage, I think a lot of it for me is the chemistry. My bandmates, Zlako and Sean, they're my brothers. I've been on the road with them. I've written tons of music with them. They were, when my father died a couple years ago, they were at the funeral with me. These guys have been through
That's
thick and thin to hell and back with me. On stage, I have zero fear because I have the right team behind me. And I know if I'm stumbling a little bit, Zlako's going to get on his mic and he's going to crack some joke that loosens the crowd back up and gives me a second to catch it. I think for me,
that's cool.
I fumble a lot. Most of my rolls, if I'm lucky, I'm rolling a 5 on charisma. But when we all roll 5s together, that's a 15.
That
And we do
works.
a lot better that way.
And that is so cool as a fan to hear you say something like that, because I got to tell you, a couple years ago, I was reading an article. There's only two of the members. I really liked the new wave band Depeche Mode when I was younger, and still do today. And they were down to three members, and one of them died. And they were down to two, and so they're all telling their story. A lot of YouTube videos, they're this or that about the band. And I thought the band was like you and your band. I thought, yeah, these guys are great. They all are. It's a gang, you know what I mean? And then I come to find out that none of the bands liked the singer. He basically would fly in and clock in and they would play, and then he would leave and clock out and leave. And they never hung out or anything. And I, as a fan, I was really disappointed to hear that, because it should be what you and your band are. It's against the world.
I can't imagine doing this without that.
Yeah,
I really
it's like
can't.
a job. You know what I mean?
And you just see in your car. Hell, even my actual job, I'm a florist by day, and I get along with my coworkers great. We're a team too. I can't imagine spending so much emotional energy on something and not feeling that kind of camaraderie and return on it.
I think it's cool. Cool. And I get it. It doesn't always work. I like the Police too. Didn't work with them. Egos and stuff started happening. Well, but what everybody misses from that story, money started happening. That's, I think, probably more important than anything. We just didn't get along, oil and water. Yeah. Especially when somebody's making more money in the band than the other member. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course there's going to be shit. People are always like, surprised. Why didn't the Beatles work out? Because John and Paul were getting paid and nobody else was, or not as much. That's why it didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You look at a band like U2 or the Rolling Stones or something.
That's why even
the Rolling Stones is a good example. Those guys went on forever.
Yeah. When we're on the road, we split all of our money evenly, not just us, but our crew too.
And that's probably, and when you put the call out, we need everybody to do some more of the tour, then they come back. John, I don't know if you could hear me or not. It looks like you're frozen on me. Oh, no, he's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the network's doing something. Yeah.
Okay. It'll sort it. So I'll cut all that. No, but I think that's great. Let's play another video and give the network a chance to settle the hell down. Next video we're going. You want to go tower? You want to do acoustic, Red Flags?
Let's do Red Flag. Let's do the acoustic, because on the next album that's coming out in December, we're actually doing an electric version of this one.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Here it is, everybody. This is Otherworldly Entity. Red Flag. Or Red Flags. I don't know. It's one of them. It's Red Flags with an S. Plural.
I see it happening. You look so mesmerizing. You're just hypnotizing. I want you. I can't figure out why you're so appetizing. I hear the things your eyes say. I want you. Red flags cover all your shame. I can't help but want the insane. My blood-soaked flag of everything. I feel it happening. The tides of fate are changing. The mood of moon is waning. And I want you. can't let it go. The thoughts so occupying, a total lack of trying, and I want you. Red flags cover all your shame. I can't help but hate the mundane. My blood-soaked flag of everything. Red flags aren't all the same. Find the right monster to tame. The blood-soaked flag of the insane. The blood-soaked flag of the insane. The blood-soaked flag of the insane. Red flags cover all your shame. I can't help but hate the mundane. My blood-soaked flag of everything. Red flags aren't all the same. Find the right monster to tame. The blood-soaked flag of the insane. The blood-soaked flag of the insane. The blood-soaked flag of the insane.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. That is cool. I like that you do the acoustic stuff along with the electronic stuff. Totally get what you were saying when you were saying you were playing acoustic sets and whatnot before. I'm not a big, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law love, I don't know what it's called, the expensive beers. They'll take you to a place where
like craft beer.
Yeah, craft. They're really into that. They're yuppies. Me and my wife have never called them Brad and Janet behind their back. No, they're good people. They're great people. But we always go to these venues with them, and at every one, there's some band or some cat doing an acoustic set, doing a country folky set of Hotel California or something. And you're like, how does this still...
And some random Mumford & Sons cover,
Yeah, exactly. If they do have a drummer, it's not a drum, it's a washboard.
It's a kick drum, and it's a kick drum. That's all it is.
That's it. And nobody's listening to the band. They're all talking about so you hear all the clinking of glasses and conversations, and then the band behind that. And I'm like, man, I've never seen such a depressing setup. For the musician, it's gotta be. Absolutely. Now you do a set, you look out over the crowd, and there's pretty girls singing your song to you. That's gotta be, that'll put a pep in your step. And come on, that's awesome.
It is crazy. It is crazy seeing fans sing back to us. We were just on the road, and we were playing a show in Worcester, Massachusetts, and there were people in the audience. I had no idea who these people were. They weren't friends. I'd never met them, and they're singing.
But they knew the material.
Songs. Yeah, they're singing my songs right back to me. Everything except half our set was all new stuff off the upcoming album that we were crowd testing a bit. But all of the older stuff that we were playing new, and they were singing back. And it's crazy to be in that situation where you remember writing those words and like what it meant in that moment. And then you see someone singing it back to you and you're like, I wonder what this means for you.
Yeah.
There was someone singing our song Foreplay back to me, and I'm like, You have no idea what I was talking about.
I always have these jokes that my wife says get a little tired. This is one of them. I've said it on the show way too many times, but it's just an observation I've made of the power of music. Every guy, I don't know about women, every guy I know, the first time they ever had a real kiss with a girl, not your Aunt Tilly smooching you on the cheek, but a real,
Right?
honest to God kiss, can recall what song was going on in the background there. Every guy can.
100%. Goo Goo Dolls Iris.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
mine was, what was it? It was, I can't tell you the song, but it was Prince. I know that. It was off 1999. No, it might have been. We were in our parents' car. I remember that. But yeah, and it's very true. Now, when you apply that to my world, to art, nobody remembers what painting was on the wall behind them. That did not exist. That was not in their sense of awareness. It's
But
on juxtapositions.
can you paint that emotional moment?
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
hard.
great thing about visual art is you can visually manifest that moment.
You can try. I'm
You
better
can
at
try, you can struggle to do it, you could be disappointed in yourself when it doesn't work exactly like you thought, and then try 20 more times,
That's
all of
true.
which are underserving.
I did a painting a couple years back called Second Thoughts on It. And all it is a beach scene with a gal in a wedding dress holding her heels in her hand. And we have that in our merch
Yeah.
store. And I sell, I don't know, we sell 60, and we have that in our merch that every month. I'm like, if your gal's buying weight things, do some course correcting.
Maybe ask some follow-ups. Maybe ask some follow-ups.
Yeah, that ain't good. Hey, speaking of merch, one of the things I like on your social media is you post stuff. And most people, myself included, because we're dumb, we're having a sale on whatever, we just post the item in a big white space there.
Yeah.
No, you find the prettiest girl in town apparently and say, hey, put this jacket on or whatever, or put this shirt on, or smart, smart.
That's actually our photographer is actually who's usually the one modeling for us.
Well, there
So
you
I
go.
turn the camera around on her and have her model it.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I want that coat now. But no, you can see this. And
I'm
folks,
wearing it.
we've got everything otherworldly entity in the links. They're clickable links in the description below. But definitely follow these guys, subscribe, whatever it is. And I know all you kids are on YouTube and this and that, and follow, add them to your playlists and stuff. And hey, for those on TikTok, I'm such an old man, John. I'm such an old man. The other day, I told my wife, I'm like, I need to start a TikTok account. I want to do I can make a heart with my hands and do those dances and stuff, right? Get more engagement. And she's, Jamie, you don't use a cell phone. You need a cell phone to do TikTok.
Oh,
It's very true. It's very true. But no, I was going to say is all you kids on TikTok out there, I've never, and I've watched a lot of TikTok. If you're at our house and it's bedtime, I go to bed and my plan is to go to sleep. Not my wife's. She's, oh, let me watch 2 hours of TikTok videos here that will seep into your unconscious, Jamie. And people in my dreams are dancing around, making heart hands. And it's the weirdest thing,
it
you
might
know?
say a little more about you, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying it because I'm hearing the TikTok from her side of the bed. It's, anyway, anyway. But I've never seen one of those that didn't have some music playing in the background. No, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Everybody's doing it, so it can't be that hard. Add them to your TikToks, whatever. Help get the word out. Also, every social media site, every post has a little thing called a share button. If you think something's cool, share it with your friends. The whole reason you're friends with people is common interests. You guys all like the same thing, so share the love there, man. And if you're the first one to share it, you're automatically the coolest one at the party because you discovered this new band out of Syracuse, New York, and you hipped everybody to them. That's how that works. So yeah, that's cool, man. That is cool. Now, I hate doing social media. You guys are real good at it. Are you guys still doing all that? I imagine you are, but I know people get to a point where they have somebody do all that.
Yeah, we do it all ourselves, and it's because we've had people come in and do it, and we were never necessarily satisfied with what
Right.
was being done. So we just kept going, no, just let me do it. So
Yeah,
yeah, we do it all ourselves.
that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I always make the joke, I need a 15-year-old girl with a cell phone would free up 2 hours of my day. But no, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do this marketing because it isn't just going to happen. It isn't going to happen, folks. You got to do it. And I don't know. I think it's good. It ran. I just had a YouTube short. Is that what they're called? A reel or a short? I don't know what the hell they're called. The short video.
Yeah,
We'll do those for the
yeah.
show. And it got 2,000 views on YouTube, and I was like, "Man, look at me! I'm a YouTube star. I want one of them plaques now to put behind me." No, I'm not a YouTube influencer. Or what do they call them? But it did put a pep in my step the whole day.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
It's sad with the show because we did an audio only show for the first, I don't know, 8 years of the show or something like that. It was only audio. People call in, we bullshit on the phone, just like we're doing now, but audio wise. And it was great because I didn't have to shave. I didn't have to put a tie on. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the company we used, they went out of business. And I think I was their oldest customer. And my wife's, now's the opportunity. You have to change the format. Find somebody to continue to do the audio, but add video now. I'm like, I don't want to do video. Joe Rogan does video. He's doing okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was trying to explain. I'm like, I don't have the weed or the friends that Joe Rogan has. But anyway, we start doing video. But the thing that sucks about it is you have to start your following completely over for that particular venture. I mean,
Yep.
so we're in this really weird situation now. Like we'll have, I don't know, we have 100 subscribers or a couple hundred, something. But then our audio, the same show, and it doesn't even have the video, is getting 8,000 listens to and stuff, or
Ooh.
10,000.
Yeah.
So it's like one extreme or the other. And I'm like, and she's right. I was talking to her about it. She said, you got to build that up. Look, it took you to get that on the audio side. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you for letting me vent about it.
Yep. We're back to that polarizing. Full circle.
I'm telling you, maybe I should start listening to or talking about. No, I'm not doing. I am not.
Don't do that. No, you're gonna lose half your audience immediately.
Oh, exactly. Let me tell you what's wrong with this country. Oh, yeah, it's the Norwegians. That's the problem. Jeez.
I think it's Florida.
We live 20 minutes south of Mar-a-Lago. That's the scary part. That's our
Ooh,
neighbor. Yeah.
That's concerning.
The only good thing about it is I've noticed since he's been there, our particular town, we live in this little sleepy beach town, which is south of there, has not been hit by a hurricane, knock on wood. They all come close, but they avoid his place. No, I'm not saying. It's
right.
just I've noticed.
Causation versus correlation. I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'll take it. I'll take it while I can get it. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me ask you, we just played Red Flags. That is, I had a friend of mine that was a big time, he was big in the 90s, lives in Sweden. And one time we were bullshitting, and I said, man, everything you do is a hit, like a radio hit. I mean, like being played in clubs and shit. And he goes, it doesn't matter. You can have all the technology in the world. He goes, the majority of our shit is basically done with Pro Tools. It isn't, I ain't Beethoven. Right. Settle down there, Jamie. Settle down. He goes, but what I will say is every good hit in whatever genre it is can usually be played on an acoustic guitar around a campfire and still be good.
Yep.
So you don't always need laser beams and fog machines. You know what I mean?
Every song we've ever written started on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. See, there you
Every song
go.
we've ever written. And that's just because that's Zlatko and I, that's what we do. We grab our acoustics first. We don't want to have to flip any power on and have to think through what we're doing. We just want to pick up a guitar and play.
I hear you. I hear you, man. It is. Man, this fucking here tonight. Anyhow,
Mine too. Mine.
oh, come on now. Come on. No, but you look great. The girls like that. The girls like that. I'm telling you. Look at Pitbull. Look at Captain Picard. He does all right. Look at them all. It's funny. Everybody that had hair like mine in the 80s, you see him play. I just saw a live video of Sisters of Mercy, this gothic rock band I was into. And the guy had crazy hair back in the day. Now he's got your hairstyle. Because all that shit fell out from
Oh, yeah.
putting all that shit in it in the 80s. It's very true, folks. It's very true. But no, the gals dig that now. They like that. Beards and shit. They're into beards. I never would have saw that coming.
I've had this beard since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere.
But every girl you talk to, they're like, "Oh yeah, a guy with a beard, ooh, shaved head, ooh, even more."
You could try beard. I think you could do it.
I do the
You
sideburns.
got the mutton. You got the mutton chops.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're the only a little bit in the back now, starting to go white. But and I was telling my wife I was going to get some of that, the Just for Men, the hair thing to do my sideburn. I said, I think I'll look younger if I do that. And she's absolutely not. You're not. No, it's not. I got vetoed quick. And I'm like, I'm thinking about maybe shaving them off. No, those aren't going anywhere, mister. Okay. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Believe me, when you've been married a while, folks, you'll learn the yes, dear. Or just have a girlfriend. You learn to.
Or just do what I did and get divorced.
Yeah, there you go.
I've
been that route. Oh,
I haven't said yes, dear, in a long time.
and there's something for that. I'm telling you. I am telling you. You will. Going through a divorce that's a slow. It's like a hurricane. It just lasts forever, and you see the buildup coming. You know what's going to happen.
Yep.
And finally, when the sky clears and the clouds go and the sun comes out, you're like, lasts forever. It's the worst year and a half of my life. I'm glad I'm through that now.
And also, my insurance paid off more, and now I'll have a nicer house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm back. I felt like Austin Powers after Vanessa was a fembot. I'm going to start wolfing around again. Breakups and that kind of shit, they all suck. But you get through it. Gives you something. You appreciate all the good stuff after that because you got to compare it to.
Yep. And hey, I got 3 albums out of that.
Absolutely. That's cool, man. That is cool that you had this vision. You're making it happen. You're working at it every day. You know, it has to happen. And you got good people you're working with. It's very cool. And it's working. Obviously, it's working. And it's leading up to the when's the new album drop? Any idea on that? What is that?
It's going to be in December. We haven't picked a date yet.
Okay.
It's going to be December.
That's awesome. I will bug Gigi when that happens because get ready. I want you back on the show. Definitely. You're fun to talk to.
Oh, absolutely.
But we got to play Tower. Now, Tower, first single from the upcoming album.
First single from this album. It's called the album's called Mycerium. And this is the first single off it.
Nice. See, I told you. It reminds me of you guys have the coolest names for bands and albums and singles and whatnot. Smart music. Here it is, everybody. Check this out. This is Otherworldly Entity, Tower.
can't expect for anyone to know the pain in your head, the loss of control. Searching for something that can give me hope, but there's only silence when the walls are crashing
Tower, folks. Otherworldly Entity. Fantastic track. And it's out right now. This dropped a couple weeks ago, but people can buy this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plus, it's
Nice.
streaming everywhere. The
Nice.
video's out. All of that.
I always tell everybody always asks me, they're like, you got these cool bands on your show. Where do I buy their stuff? If you're not in the area or whatnot and streaming is all you got, absolutely buy it streaming. The best place to buy music is at a show. Every band I've ever known has a merch table. Or some honey sitting at the merch table selling this shit. I'm sure Otherworldly Entity is no
Usually
different.
me.
That's how I used to see shows as a kid. All my friends were in bands. I'm like, hey, can I get some passes for the show? And they're like, no, Jamie, you cannot. We got to pay for all this shit. But here's a stack of flyers and a stapler. That's before social media, before Twitter, folks. They're like, hit every light pole in town. The Blues Brother this shit. And you can come to the show and run the merch table. How about that? So a lot of bands out there.
Hey, if you do this
You know.
work, you can come and do more work.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, that were my friends, and I probably would have done the exact same thing. That was just the times.
Yep.
But you guys got a cool website, you got cool merch, and people can pick this up and whatnot. Remember, folks, Christmas is coming. The cool thing about streaming that you can't get at a merch table, say you work some job, you sell insurance, whatever it is you're doing, you work in some job, and Diane is in a couple cubicles over, and boy, does she have nice legs. When it's her birthday, and every guy in the place is going to go buy her some generic card that he didn't even read through the card. He thought, oh, it's got a cat on it. This will work. This will impress old Diane. Yeah, maybe, but you want to James Bond this shit? You got her email. Buy her a track. Only cost you $1. It's cheaper than the card. Because when you buy a track on the streaming sites, they say, where should we send this? What's the email? Put in her email. A little note. Hey, happy birthday. Heard this and, I don't know, reminded me of you or something. You know what I mean? Suddenly you're
And then
set
you
yourself
send her
apart.
foreplay.
Yeah, send her foreplay. Hey, why don't we get together this weekend? Suddenly, you're that show, How I Met Your Mother. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Very cool. Now, there's such good videos. There's such good videos that, we played a couple. There's many more on their YouTube page, folks. I like to ask my musician friends this because I love music videos, but I'm not making music videos. And so I say, how do you feel about music videos? The process of that. And they usually have two answers. I love doing them. They're a necessary evil. They're a pain in the eye. I know my song. I don't need to hear it 250 more times because Bill, the drummer, couldn't make his mark. Not picking on drummers, just hypothetical. Where do you fall in that spectrum? Do you like doing them, or are they tedious?
Both. They're super tedious. They're super repetitive. They're a lot of hard work, but any good art is tedious. We look into the artistic practices of like hyperfocus. That's really all music videos are, is a study of hyperfocus and repetition, but more torturous on us as the artist than it is on the viewer, because they don't see the repetition that we do.
And you might have to build a portal or two out in the middle of the... You might have to build a stairway to nothing. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Or throw a rave in the middle of a forest with a bunch of black lights.
There you go. That's how you got the fairies for the one video. You know what I mean? They just showed up.
Yeah, exactly. There's a process.
They said, here's the party. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, very cool. You know this. You're talented turned up to 10. All the guys in the band are. And you guys are real. I'm going to tell you anyway, in case you ever have one of those mornings where you wake up and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got a new fan down here in South Florida. You're really good at what you do. You're one of the bands I hope new bands take notes of what you're doing, because you're doing it right.
Yeah, that's why we're the outcasts in the music scene.
I hear you. I hear, but sometimes that's a
But
good
I'll
place
take
to be.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, because you're not.
I'll take it.
You're one of those cats that your band is one of those bands that isn't following trends; they're starting trends. You know what I mean? And
Right. Yep.
Led Zeppelin didn't come out and say, "Oh, we're trying to sound like this," or these guys. That's what
Listen to the things. Listen to what Ozzy did. He was breaking molds at the time. I'm sure he was an
till he
outcast
died.
himself. Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, he's. It's crazy. I just watched a very interesting. I don't know the name of it, but it's the cat from. Oh, what the hell's the name of that band? Tonight, 1979.
Pumpkins.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkin. Billy something from Smashing.
Yeah.
The lead
Billy
singer of Smashing.
Corgan. Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
He does a podcast that I watched the other day that he interviewed Sharon Osbourne, and it was a fucking fascinating. I knew nothing about her father. Was this kind of organized crime guy in London? With you signed your band with him. He would guys in a big car, big guys in a car would show up and take all your money, basically. You know what I mean? It was crazy
Yeah.
shit. I've always known she's a ball buster, not from any personal. Just you've always heard that rumor. She she got a lot of that from her old man. He didn't play, from what she was saying, and I was like, I had no idea, no idea. Fascinating though, fascinating. But he's got a real good. I don't know the name of it, but it's just type in Billy Corrigan in YouTube, folks. I'm sure it's like the first
Yeah,
thing
I'm
that pops
sure.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show, worth watching, in my opinion. Um, you guys should start a podcast, the or other world, because you could have rock people on it, and you can. Am I allowed? I don't know if I'll cut it out if I'm not. One of your other interests you told me before we came on camera. Fascinating interest, the whole paranormal thing. You're into that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We've actually discussed with a couple TV networks about doing a TV show following the band doing paranormal investigations. It's been in
That's
talks for a couple years now.
that is
Yep.
brilliant. That
We've
is
actually
brilliant.
done pilot episode test runs. We've done different locational test runs and things like that. And yeah, it's something we keep coming back to every once in a while.
I like that. I can see the setup.
Oh
You're
yeah,
investing.
because we've all liked Scooby Doo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You guys really are that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. And those are popular. Those are still popular. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you that we got Roku's on every TV, and in our living room we got a big TV, of course, like everybody does now. And I got the Roku hooked up to it, and you can watch YouTube on the big TV, on the giant TV. The one out back's even bigger, on our back patio back there, and it's got it built in. But I can't tell you the amount of time we've had people over to the house, get together, hang with the friends, maybe having a cocktail or two, and we're watching CCTV footage of from Indonesia of a bump in the night somewhere. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
spending
Yep.
hours doing
Yep.
that. Yeah,
How many different skinwalkers you've seen at this point?
I'm telling you, or at least heard them. At least heard them. Like I said, I'm on this other kick now. Nobody was even over here for Halloween this year, and I'm watching, yeah, the slime monsters of the abandoned oil pit in Gary, Indiana, or something. Oh,
Yep.
you think that really happened? No, it didn't happen. I know logically, but it could have. You know what I mean?
You don't know unless you go there.
Yes. Some creature had to make that bloop noise. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm out of me and my wife's really into that shit. John, she owns a crystal business. Effing
Oh.
crystals in the house. I feel like Superman at the Fortress of Solitude. It's a lot of crystals.
She's got your whole star chart figured out. Yep.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah. What sign are you? I'm a Libra. What's your rising and what's your
Yep.
like? I wanted so bad to point out to her. I'm like thinking in my mind, I did not say this. I'm thinking when they invented this, it was a couple thousand years ago, Babylonia or whatever, 3,000 years ago, whenever that was. all the stars would be in different positions when they came up with this. So we're actually 3,000 years behind where they should be, or ahead, or whatever.
We're ahead actually.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
ahead of. So even though I only say I'm a Libra because that's what the newspaper points out, the dates.
Yep.
But really, I should be a Capricorn or something. Who knows?
Hey Jamie, can I hit a restroom real quick?
Yeah.
Just take a 5 minute.
Oh, let's wrap up the thing.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Okay, folks, that's going to do it. I'll blend all this. That's going to do it. This is going to do it for us tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Otherworld Entity. Check them out even more because they're very cool. And John's Aces, and so are the rest of the band. I don't want to leave them out as well. They're fantastic. We will see you next time. Remember, the world's a weird place. Be patient with people. Be kind. You don't know what anybody's going through. But yeah, be patient.
And
That's the
don't
one.
climb any stairs in the woods.
That's right. If you find some stairways to, folks, this is a thing. Look that up on YouTube. I'm telling you, I never heard about it before. It's true. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Rocks Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Rocks Limited. Hannah Oli, Pop Rocks Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rocks Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Rocks Radio med Jamie Roxx.